Hey everybody, it's Erin from Yoga Strong, and I want to preview our class 3, which is our balance class. Now, we kind of do a little bit of balance in every class, but this class is really going to be devoted on building up your balance. And we're not going to jump into any crazy pose. We're really going to work on the basics. So, I wanted to give you some tips to help you with balance before we start the class, just so that when we're in the class, you're already going to know some of these tips. I'm still going to go over them in class, but this just gives you a little preview ahead of time. So, when you're balancing, my first tip would be to start with a strong base. It's hard to go into a balance pose if you're going into it shaky. So, it all starts with the feet. So, you've got your foot. You got a lot of real estate here. Think about it. You're standing, you're walking all the time. You hopefully rarely just fall when you're standing and walking because you're used to using your whole feet when you're standing and when you're walking. And then we go into a balance pose and we get off balance because it's not an orientation that we're used to. So just thinking about using your whole foot, this area that's behind your big toe, the area that's behind your little toe, your both sides of your heel, and your toes themselves. Your toes are a big part of balance, being able to grip the mat and kind of gives you those breaks from tipping forward. So rolling through your foot, making sure your foot is making good contact with the mat. All four of those touch points are touching down, your toes are gripping. That's going to get you a good start. And then just taking that breath, that half second, that full breath to center yourself before you ever start going into a pose. So what I'm going to practice in this video is just lifting our leg up and lowering it down. We're going to do this in class and do a challenge to see how long we can, or how many times we have to touch down, or how we feel when we just have a leg lifted. So my right leg is going to be my standing strength leg. I'm grounding down through my foot and I'm getting a good base before I start. Second tip is to find a drisdi. A drisdi is a focal point. Balance, you have to be in the moment. You cannot balance and think about your grocery list or your kid's soccer game or what you've got to do next weekend. You have to be thinking about what's going on right now. And the best way to do that is to pick a point and put your energy into it. You need to pick a spot that's already in the direction that you're supposed to be looking. So if we're doing this just standing one-legged lift, I don't need to be looking left or right. I don't need to be looking right down at my mat, and I don't need to be looking at the ceiling. My gaze should be kind of in front of me. So I'm going to pick a spot on the floor that's already in the direction I'm looking. I try to find like a little knot in the floor, or just something that something interesting, something that's a little different that I can put my energy into, whether it's a spot, a knot, a line, a little piece of fluff on the floor, whatever it is. I'm going to put my energy into that, gripping with my toes, taking a breath. When I feel good, then I start to go into my lift. So I can lift my leg, hold it here. I've got all my muscles engaged. So I'm squeezing all of my muscles. Everything's engaged. And you'll notice I never take my eyes off my focal point. So we can practice here holding this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale down. And then we'll shake it out. Now, I could just go right into the other side, but then I'm skipping all those steps. So now my left leg is going to be my standing strength leg. I'm going to make sure I'm making contact with my whole foot, all four corners of my foot, and my toes are gripping, centering myself, being in the present moment. I've got a spot on the floor I'm looking at. Once I feel good like this, I feel stable, then I can start to lift into a balanced position. So I'm going to stay here. I've got my drisdi. I've got all my muscles activated. I'm squeezing everything. My foot's making good contact. And if I start to waver, I'm really pulling on my toes. My toes are helping keep me ground down so my foot's not going back and forth. So I'm going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And then I'll shake that out and let it go. So maybe if you're watching this video and you want to do a little preparation for class, just kind of go through those steps and do this little challenge and just see if you're bringing your leg up for just a 10 count, see how it goes. Are you swaying side to side? Are you swaying forward to backwards? Sometimes just seeing what you're having difficulty with and knowing what it is, then we'll know what we need to work on. So I'm really excited to do this class with you guys. I'll see you on Saturday for class 3 of our beginner series, our balance class. Have a great day.